Hello students, welcome to part 3 of Mechanical Properties of Fluids. This is our chapter number 2. In the first part, we studied an important property of fluid, that is a surface tension. In first part, we studied about surface tension, surface energy and various factors affecting the surface tension. In part 2, we studied about meniscus, the shape of meniscus, and the angle of contact. Now in part 3 we are going to study we are going to continue the same chapter. Let us study effect of impurity and temperature on surface tension. First, effect of impurities. When the soluble substances such as common salt, which is known as sodium chloride, is dissolved in water, the surface tension of water increases. It means that soluble impurities increases the surface tension. When strongly soluble substances, means the substances having lower solubility such as phenol and detergent, when such a substances are mixed with the water, the surface tension of water decreases. And for this reason, we are using detergent to wash the clothes. Due to the lower surface tension, the water makes good contact with the fabric and able to remove the tough stains or a dirt from the fabric. When insoluble impurity is added to water, the surface tension of water decreases. When impurities gets added to any liquid, the cohesive force of that liquid decreases, which affects the angle of contact and in turn it affects the shape of a meniscus. If mercury is fell on a ground, it mixes with the dust present on the ground. It does not form a spherical droplets unless the dirt is completely removed from it. So this is about effect of impurity. Now let us study effect of temperature. In most of the liquid, with increase in temperature, the surface tension decreases. There is a reciprocal relationship with increase in temperature and a surface tension. So the best example is when we buy cotton clothes, a suggestion is given to us not to wash this cotton cloth in a warm water or use cold water to wash the cotton clothes. Now, why it is so? Because the cold water has higher surface tension, and due to that higher surface tension, water could not make good angle of contact with the fabric. And in this way, the color of a fabrics are saved or the fabric does not lose the color. On the contrary, whenever the dirty clothes are there, we wash the dirty clothes in a warm water, because the warm water when mixed with a detergent, the surface tension decreases, and due to this decrease in surface tension, water can make a good contact with the surface of a fabric, and hence the dirt can be easily removed from the fabric. In case of molten copper or a molten cadmium, the surface tension increases with increase in temperature. So these molten copper and molten cadmium are the two substances in which the surface tension increases with increase in temperature. For most of the substances, surface tension decreases with increase in temperature. The surface tension of a liquid becomes zero at a critical temperature. Or in another word, we can say that critical temperature is a temperature at which surface tension of liquid becomes zero. So this is all about effect of impurity and temperature on surface tension. Excess pressure across free surface of liquid. Every molecule of a liquid surface experiences a force due to a surface tension. And we know that this force is tangential to the liquid surface. The direction of the resultant force of a surface tension acting on a molecule of a liquid depends upon shape of that liquid surface. So direction, it depends upon shape of the liquid surface. This force decides the pressure at a point just below the surface of a liquid. We know that pressure is equals to force per unit area. So there is a relation between force and pressure, and hence the force decides the pressure just below the surface of a liquid. So as you can see, there are three diagrams, and in the three diagram, the shape or the surface of three liquid is different. Now let us talk about first diagram. The first diagram is of plane liquid surface. Whenever a plane liquid surface is present, let us consider a 2 points, point A and B, which are above each other. Practically, we say that the level difference between A and B is almost zero. So, in the first diagram, the point A and B, point A is outside the liquid and point B is just below A. The force Ft denotes the surface tension. The surface tension at a point A, some force is acting in right hand side while the some forces are acting in left hand side. The total or a net force due to the surface tension is zero, and whatever the force acting on a point A and B is the atmospheric pressure, which is same, as there is no practical difference, level difference between A and B. Hence, for a plane surface, the pressure at a point A and B is same. So remember, for a plane surface, the pressure at a point A and B is same. Let us talk about a convex surface. Surface of a liquid is upper convex, as shown in figure 2nd. In this case, the resultant force due to the surface tension acting on a molecule B is vertically downward. So as you can see in the figure, the resultant force Ft is acting in the downward direction. The atmospheric force is also acting in the downward direction. So as both are having same direction, they get add up, and pressure at a B is greater than pressure at a A. So pressure at a point B is greater than pressure at a point A. We can say that pressure inside the liquid is greater than pressure outside the liquid. Or in another word, in a concave side of a liquid, the pressure is more than the convex side. So this is the important thing. Remember this. Now let us talk about figure number 3. In a figure 3, the surface is concave liquid surface. In a concave liquid surface, the resultant surface tension or the force due to surface tension is acting in an upward direction. The atmospheric force is acting in a downward direction, and the force due to surface tension is acting in the upward direction. So both the forces are having opposite direction. So as both the forces are having opposite direction, they get subtracted, and at a point A, the force is lesser than the point B. So we can say that in third figure or in concave surface, the pressure inside the liquid is more than the point pressure outside the liquid. So one more time, pressure on the concave side, that is outside of a liquid, is greater than pressure on the convex side, that is the inside the liquid. So remember this, what is the condition in a convex surface and what is the condition in a concave surface. We need this information in our previous topics. So this is important to understand the next topic. Explain excess pressure about a drop of liquid, or derive Laplace law for spherical membrane. This topic is important from exam point of view. Many times this derivation is asked in a board examination. So this derivation is for 3 marks. So let us study explanation of formation of drop and a bubble. The question is asked in the above manner. Now, the liquid drop or a small bubble have a spherical shape because of the forces of surface tension. Now, a spherical shape in a spherical shape or for a very spherical shape, inside pressure will be greater than the outside pressure. The outside pressure is also called as gravitational pressure. The difference of inside pressure and outside pressure is called as excess pressure. So consider a spherical drop of radius small r. Let P1 and P0 be the inside and outside pressure. Excess pressure inside the drop is obviously Pi minus P0, and which is denoted by delta P. So due to excess pressure, if the radius of the drop increases by a small amount, say delta r, then the radius of the outer layer is r plus delta r. Therefore, the increase in area, if we denote that by dA, it is given by dA is equals to final surface area minus initial surface area. So the surface area of a sphere is given by the formula 4 pi r square. So for final surface, it is 4 pi r plus delta r bracket square minus 4 pi r square. You can expand the bracket and you can cancel the similar terms. Then by cancelling them, you will get 8 pi r delta r plus 4 pi delta r square. As delta r is just very smaller than r, we can neglect the term of delta r square. And by neglecting that term, we will get delta A is equals to 8 pi r delta r. Now, students, we know that work done in increasing the surface area dA is given by dW is equals to T into dA. Substitute the value of dA. So dW is equals to T into 8 pi r into delta r. So this is dW is equals to delta P into 8 pi r square into delta r. Comparing equation 1 and 2, you will get delta P into 4 pi r square delta r is equals to T into 8 pi r delta r. So you can cancel pi from both the sides, r from both the sides, and 4 will get cancelled. And if you calculate, delta p is equals to 2t upon r. So this is called as, or this delta p is equals to 2t upon r is called as the law of spherical membrane, and this law is also called as Laplace law. The excess pressure shows that the excess pressure is more for the drop having the smaller radii and vice versa. So this is about the derivation of excess pressure. In case of soap bubble, the situation is a little bit different. So in case of soap bubble, there are two free surfaces in contact with air, the inner surface as well as the outer surface. Remember students, the inner surface of a soap bubble contains air, and the outer surface of a soap bubble also contains air. So there are two surfaces in contact with air, the inner surface as well as the outer surface. So when you calculate the change in area, it becomes twice of the area which we studied in a liquid or in the above derivation. So the value of delta A becomes 16 pi r delta r plus 4 pi r square. Again, neglecting the term of delta r square, you will get delta A is equals to 16 pi r delta r. Now calculate the work done by substituting the value of dA. dW is equals to 2E into 16 pi r delta r. This is our equation number 1. But work done is equals to force into displacement. So excess force is equal to excess pressure into area. So it is delta P upon 4 pi r square. As equation 1 and 2 are same, that is the work done, you can compare the two equations and then you will get delta P is equals to 4T upon R. So hence for the soap bubble, the excess pressure is 4T upon R, and for liquid it is delta P is equals to 2T upon R. So we are going to solve examples based on this Laplace law. Remember, the Laplace law is important from exam point of view. The derivation is up for 3 marks, as well as it is important while solving the numericals. The next topic is capillarity action.